Hi, I'm Brett Crosby, co-owner of Custom Ag Solutions and one of the creators of beefbasis.com. There are a lot of tools on this site, and today we're going to talk about one in particular. We're going to talk about the basis and price forecasting tool. To get to this tool, we'll go to the drop-down menu under Forecasting Tools, and we will pick Basis and Price Forecast Beta. The original models for these forecasts were run in 2006, and we're in the process of rerunning these models. The beta then consists of the new models, the newly run models, and so you want to click the beta. Right now we have Kansas and Oklahoma, so let's say we're going to sell cattle in Kansas. We have cattle on wheat pasture, and we expect them to be ready to sell in April, and we'll just pick the middle of the month, and we'll say we're going to go to Dodge City with them. We'll say they're steers. Frame refers to frame size, almost always large and medium and large. When you get in the eastern part of the United States, that might change a little bit, and the same with grade. Grade refers to the muscling, and in most places in the Midwest and West, you're going to select 1 because that comprises the medium and large frame. Grade 1 comprise the vast majority of the cattle that are sold in the Midwest and the West. We'll say that they're going to weigh 850 pounds coming off of wheat pasture, and when we talk about head, we're going to talk about the number of head that are going to be sold in one lot. So we'll say we're going to sell a load lot of 60, and then we'll click on any other cell or box to activate the Run tab. Now before we do that, let's look at this. What we're going to do is we're going to estimate the basis to the April feeder cattle futures contract, and we're going to use the corn futures price for May because the corn futures have an impact on basis. And so we're going to those things are automatically calculated for you, but you can change these if you would like. But these are automatically pulled from the current futures prices. So once we have this all together, we'll click Run, and down below we have an output, and we see that the estimate is for basis to be 110 under. In other words, we expect the price to be $1.10 under the futures price. And so when we go down to the price, we see that we expect the price to be 145.88. Now there's a confidence interval associated with any type of a forecast, and we see that the confidence interval for basis it ranges from $4 under to $1.86 over, which means the price is going to range somewhere between $142.92 and $148.84 the majority of the time. This is equivalent to standard deviation, so what we're looking at is as a price of $145.88 is our best guess, and 68% of the time we're going to see prices between $142.92 and $148.84. When we go down here to the table that is a little smaller, so we'll magnify it, we see what happens, what we expect to happen if either the futures contract moves or the corn price moves on us. And we see that we have the feeder cattle prices moving by $2 per column, and the corn price moving by 20 cents a bushel, and you can change those. And we see that the way we read this is that if the futures decline by $8, then we expect basis to go from $1.10 under to 73 cents under. So for example, if you sold the board at 146.98, you would capture not only the $8 on your hedge, but you would also pick up the 37 cents in basis. So that gives you an idea of how your hedge can be expected to perform given different price movements in corn or feed or cattle futures. Now we use these forecasts for a lot of different things. Primarily, we're going to use them to see what prices we can expect for cattle that we plan to sell in the future. It gives us an idea of what we can afford to pay for calves if we're buying them. It gives us an idea of what we can expect to ask for when we are pricing our calves to an order buyer, or when we are putting them on the video auction. It gives us a good place to start in setting a base price. So that's what we have. That's the end of the simple tutorial on the basis forecast tool, and we'll be putting more tutorials up in the future, so stay tuned.